You never know how important life is until it's gone. Until life is taken away from someone and you get to see it, then you'll start remembering exactly what are you doing with your life. Like my kids will never know the full extent of how far I went in order to make certain things happen. Hell, I think the first time we went to Disney World, I remember thinking about that. The first time we all went to Disney World was after I was selling a few cars, of course, just selling them right out the house. I mean, we was getting a hustle. I would buy a car, do some things, get it right, make sure it's good for the next owner, and then I'd sell it. And I got up on a lick. I was passing up this, I guess this was this repair facility, and they had this Chrysler 300 out there. It was like for sale. So I bought it. And then I think I got it for like $2,000, but I sold it for, I think, 6. It was during tax season, and what I do is I call that, them rich for a week folks out there for that tax season stuff. So I bought it for like $2,000 from the repair facility. I put it online. At the time, we were using Craigslist. And Craigslist was the place to go. That was what you wanted to use, right? So I put it on there, I get some hits, and this family comes out, they check it, they had the mechanic go over it and whatnot. Everything turned out well. They gave me the money, I gave them the car, the title, all that stuff. Everything was shot, everything was cool, but I made a nice $4,000 profit. But after taxes and a few other things that I had to do, I ended up, oh, what's up, lady? Hold on. Okay, so yeah, made about $3,000 off of that one after, all the expenses and fees. Took that money, bought some Disney World tickets. It was like, what are we gonna end up doing? We never been there. It was a great idea to just say, well, if you've never been to Disney World, you might as well go. Didn't know how expensive it ended up being. I think the whole trip came out to either $45,000 or $5,000, and we did not stay in one of them super, high-end hotel. We didn't stay on the campus of Disney World. Didn't do all of that because they wanted like $1,000 a night. But anyhow, ended up staying at, what was this, Buena Vistas or something like that. It was great. It was freaking great. Had the pool, had everything. But the problem that happened when we got there is that I didn't know anything about booking trips. I really shouldn't have been doing that, but I learned the hard way. About check-ins in hotels. So we get there, and there was a timing difference, our time zone difference. I get there super early but late, thinking that I could check into the hotel earlier or just whenever. No, we needed to actually wait till the next day because I was 12 hours earlier and they had no room. So we ended up checking into another hotel that was just down the way. But here's the thing about that too. It was like a Best Western, and it was nothing best about it. It was terrible. I mean, I just needed a place to stay. It was so bad that I slept in my clothes. Like, we did. This slept on top of the sheets. It was just like, oh no. I think it was $60 a night or something. Now, again, this is 20 years ago. It's still a long time ago, but damn, 20 years, 15, 20, I don't know. But it was quite some time ago. No, because Katie ain't even that old. I'm crazy. This was 12, 13 years ago. It's still a long time ago. But anywho, terrible place. Ended up waking up, getting into the hotel that we were supposed to be at, which was absolutely fine and absolutely great. Take our time. We go through the, Magic Kingdom, go around, you see the characters. Everything worked out fine, but we just kept getting a call from the people that bought the car, and they were trying to tell me, oh, well, this is going on, this is going on. I said, now, how are you finding this stuff out? We went through everything. And I was like, well, I had another mechanic shop checking, and they're saying that it's going to cost this and it's going to cost that. I was like, ma'am, I'm not even in the state anymore. And he's like, oh, you took our money and went on a trip and did this. And I'm like, look, ma'am, this is 2 weeks later. I did a lot of things in between that. I didn't, but I'm being cordial. I'm being nice. I'm taking the time out during this vacation period and still, conversing with these individuals. Long story short, even though I made this long story probably even longer, I had them go to a totally different shop. I had ended up paying for another diagnosis, or that's it, diagnosis, for another shop to look through it, and it was only like 125. They said everything came back fine, passed admissions, passed inspection, and they apologized as they should later. Those people were calling me day and night for like 2 or 3 days while we were out there. It was so freaking annoying. It was so freaking annoying. Couldn't eat breakfast, couldn't eat lunch, couldn't enjoy nothing. But it was all settled. Doing all of that, and at the same time, waiting in, hour-long lines at Disney World, the happiest place on earth. Whatever. Waiting in all these lines, sitting down, doing all these things, just trying to give the little one a good time. Just trying to do something new, something we never did before. Would I do anything differently? Probably enjoy the time a little bit more, be a little bit more present if I could be. I'm gonna blame it on youth. But, as I look back on it, I'm glad it happened. A lot of stuff was learned from it. Nobody's perfect. You gotta learn to be able to accept things that have happened and keep pushing. We ended up going back to Disney World. I don't think we're gonna go back again. Oh well, that's all for this story. Be great, be cool, be awesome, and as always, see you at the finish line.
Girl, Dad Diaries, come along and see. Every little moment feels like history. Laughing in the sunlight, talking through the night. We're making memories, living life just right. Girl, Dad Diaries.